Hi guys, Taryn here with Artshine. Welcome to the first ever Kidspark virtual Artshine booth. Thank you for joining us today. Today we are going to be working on a really cool project that involves drawing some fruits and vegetables that are going to have some really fun faces on them, and I think you guys will really enjoy it. I want to talk about the supplies that you'll need first. Because we're doing this at home, I want you guys to find things around your house that you can do these with. You might not have the exact same supplies that I have, but as long as you have something similar, you'll do just fine. So first what you're gonna need is a piece of white paper. Any size will do. The other thing you're gonna need is a black marker. I have a Sharpie marker here, which is more of a permanent marker, but if you just have a washable black marker of some description or even a pen, that would work just fine for a black outline. The next thing that you're gonna need is some colored pencils. These are just like a very basic color palette of pencil crayons. You can also just use a regular crayon, and if you don't have either of those, feel free to use a marker as well. So just make sure you guys get a little workstation set up for yourself. Feel free to pause the video as I'm going if I'm moving too fast for you. You can catch up to where I am and restart the video anytime you'd like. So let's get started. So start off by getting your black marker or black writing tool ready. I like to put my lid on the back so that I keep track of it while I'm drawing. We're gonna get started with the pieces of fruit that are gonna be in front of our grocery bag today. I want you guys to know that it's just gonna be a variety of shapes that we're working through today, and I'm gonna walk you through how to do the faces on the fruit on my little piece of paper down here. So again, just feel free to pause if I'm moving a little bit fast for you. We're gonna start off by drawing the cabbage or the apple. So have a look at your page, and I want you to look at the center and just down on the bottom corner here, we're gonna start by drawing a circle shape. After you have your circle, we're just gonna draw a little smiley face shape close to the top of your apple. And then we're gonna draw the stem. So that's gonna be the basic apple shape. The next thing we're gonna do is start drawing these cute little faces onto our fruit. And I'm gonna show you a little bit larger down here how to get the faces right. So what I like to start with are the eyes, little smiley faces. And then we're gonna add little winged eyelashes onto the side of them. So our apple's gonna look like he's sleeping. Then up close to the eyes, we're gonna do a cute little smiley face that's a little bit more curved than the eye shape. And then we're gonna do two little circles for the cheeks. So let's do that cute little face on our apple. Two little smiley faces. Add those little eyelash wings. Close to our eyes, we're gonna draw a smiley face and then little round cheeks. And there's our first apple. What we're gonna do is draw our little cabbage in behind our apple, and it's going to be a circle shape as well, but if you picture a cabbage, it's gonna be larger than our apple. So I'm gonna start by drawing a curved line that's going to disappear in behind my apple. I'm gonna hop, and then I stop my line, and then I'm gonna redraw my line on the other side. And then I'm gonna start up at the top again, and I'm going to just try to mimic that same shape coming around to the bottom. I'm leaving it open at the top because we're gonna draw the leafy part of the cabbage. Could also be lettuce. I'm gonna draw a little bit of, it almost looks like a chick's hair feather on top. And then I'm just gonna draw a wiggly line coming down. And I'm gonna draw on the other side the same sort of wiggly line coming down. We're gonna mimic that line here to make it look like there's another leaf to our cabbage in behind. And then one more little one kind of peeking out. we're gonna draw our face on, and this one's gonna be eyes open. So again, I'm gonna show you guys down here where it gets a little bit larger. So we're gonna start off with the eyes, and the eyes are just 2 circles. After I have the circles for the eyes drawn, I'm gonna draw my little smiley face up close to the eyes. And then this one has 3 little eyelashes underneath. With the eyes, we're gonna leave a little white glimmer in the tops of the eyes, and then I'm gonna color the black around. So now that we have that shape, we're gonna put this particular face onto our cabbage. So let's do our 2 circle eyes, our little smiley face, eyelashes, and then remember to leave that little glimmer of white in each of our eyeballs. The finishing touch for this cute little guy is just to do some lines. Just kind of give that wrinkly look to the lettuce. So that's going to be on one side of our bag, and now we're going to move over to the other side. And on this side, I started off with a lemon. All these great produce items you can find at the Kitchener Market. So I'm just going to draw a frowny face that has a little bit longer sides on it. I'm going to round those out on either side, so it's kind of like brackets. And then do a happy face underneath it. And that gives me my lemon shape. And this face is going to have a very similar look to our cabbage. So we're going to do 2 circle eyes, a little smile, and our eyelashes. And you guys will get the hang of this really quickly with the way that the faces come together. And then this lemon, I just did some dots on to kind of give it that peel look. And in behind our lemon, I drew a radish. So our radish is going to have a curved line on one side and a curved line on the other side. And then radishes kind of have this long root, and that's going to disappear in behind my lemon. And then we're going to draw a couple taller lines. There's going to be 3 of them that are going to be the tops of the radishes, which is actually another part of the radish that you can eat. Or maybe this is a beet even. It looks a little bit beetish to me. It's a little large to be a radish, isn't it? So we're gonna draw some leaves. And then this one is going to be a sleepy radish. So our 2 little smiley faces with our eyelashes and our cheeks underneath. Then what we're gonna do is sketch in the bottom of our grocery bag. And our grocery bag is just gonna kind of attach in between our lemon and our apple. And it's gonna be a straight line. And after we're done that straight line, kind of coming up the side of our cabbage here, we're going to draw a bit of a wavy line, and then it's going to straighten out, and that's going to be the edge of our bag. We're going to do the same on the other side, just at the top of our radish here. And you kind of have to take a step back to get the 2 lines to be a little bit similar. And now that we have the basic outline of our bag here, I'm just going to place a pumpkin in behind our beet here. So the way that we're going to do that is we're going to start off by drawing a larger curved line that's going to come into our bag. And then we're going to draw that larger curved line on the other side. Now I want to point out something, guys. So as we're laying out these fruits and vegetables, you're going to find that yours aren't going to layer necessarily the same as mine. You might have a little bit more space or less space in between your fruits and vegetables, and that is totally okay. You'll find my original that I drew is going to be laid out a little bit different because just as we're drawing, our hands don't always make it exactly the same every time. We're going to draw in some more curved lines, just following the shape of our pumpkin, and that's going to give it that pumpkin look. And we have to try to avoid the thing we drew first, which in this case was our little radish. I'm going to draw our pumpkin top peeking out in behind our radish. And sometimes pumpkins have like a little bit of a curly vine that comes out of them. So we'll draw that in as well. And I'm gonna put my pumpkin face in on this side this time because I have a little bit more space over here. And it's going to be an open eye. So let's start off with our eyes. And this time, instead of having eyelashes on the bottom, I'm gonna do them on the top. And then I'm just gonna draw in a little pumpkin smiley face. So our pumpkin is having a look at his neighbors next door. Okay, the next thing that we're gonna sketch in, guys, is actually a bunch of grapes. For the grapes, they're gonna be kind of dangling outside of the bag. So I just wanna kind of place them right in here so that we have some space to let them dangle before we finish the top of our bag off. And the grapes are just bunches of circles. So I like to start off by drawing a string of 3. 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to do 2 on top. 1, 2, and you're going to notice they're not completely finished. And then I'm going to draw my stem and a little curly vine like we did on our pumpkin. And then I'm going to draw my face in next. And we're going to do eyes open with a little smiley face. And let's do some under lashes on this little bunch of grapes. And then I'm going to just kind of fill my circles in around my face. And they're not going to be perfectly filled because I want to leave space for that face to show through. So I've got my face as the focal point, and I'm going to just draw going from 4, I went to 2, and then 1, and it'll kind of look like it's hanging over the bag. Okay, so now we can finish off the front of our bag. So we're pretending this is a paper bag. So we're gonna have a jagged edge on top, and it's going to be on either side. And this has a little rip in it. That happens sometimes when they get too full. And we're gonna actually make this look 3-dimensional. So our line is gonna go up on an angle and then just come straight down and disappear in behind our cabbage. So we're gonna place our last bits of groceries now inside of the bag. So what we're gonna start with next is a cob of corn. And the corn gets a little bit more narrow at the top and wider at the bottom. And then we're going to draw the corn husks around it. So they kind of mimic the sides of the corn and come up to a point. And corn, for whatever reason, has those strange hairs that grow out the top. We're going to add those in. And then our face. So we're going to do eyes open corn, a little smile, couple eyelashes, and then to give it the look that there's some kernels there, we're just gonna do kind of like waves in the ocean. And we're just gonna do that wavy line all the way across our corn. And you can leave the face open so that we can see the face nicely. And the next thing we're gonna sketch in is our carrot. And the carrot, unlike the corn, gets a little bit wider near the top. So it's gonna be a rounded line, get wider near the top. And this one still has some wiggly leaves attached to it. And we'll put some of the veining into those leaves. And then the face. You guys should really be getting the hang of these faces now. And you can switch up if you wanted to make your carrot sleepy and have its eyes closed, feel free. And we're just gonna draw some of those carrot lines in. And then our little carrot's done. Now, the next thing we're gonna draw is 2 loaves of bread in behind our corn. And they're gonna be coming up on a little bit of an angle. The loaves of bread are just oval shapes, but they're nice and long. They get a bit narrower at the top. And then remember our stop, hop, and down. There's our first loaf, and we can put another little loaf in behind it. So that one is going to have the same shape and just disappear in behind our grapes. With its little eyelashes and smile, put some cheeks on that one. And the other loaf of bread I'm gonna make awake. I don't know if any of you guys have been following our YouTube channel, but I did a really similar piece to this with the faces that had ice cream. So you guys should check that out if you're enjoying this. And then we're just gonna draw some ovals onto our bread. I don't actually know what to call these, but when a baker is baking loaves of bread, they will put some slices into the bread with a knife, and then it kind of gives the top a bit of a textured look. These ovals that'll kind of be indented into the bread. Okay, so the last thing we're gonna draw in here is everybody's favorite vegetable, broccoli. Okay, so because we have so much going on now, we're gonna have to kind of be strategic with the way that we place our broccoli so that we can make a space for its face. So I'm gonna start with a line here. This is gonna be the stem of the broccoli, and it's just gonna disappear in behind my grape. And then I'm gonna do the other side, and it's kind of disappearing in behind my carrot top. And then it's gonna just have these like triangular shapes, and they're gonna disappear in behind some of my vegetables and be visible in other parts. So that's kind of that greenish, lighter green part that you'll see on your broccoli at home. And then we're gonna draw kind of wavy little cloud lines. So they're all kind of like frowny faces. And we're just gonna layer those around, and they're gonna disappear in behind our carrot. And that's kind of the tree part of the broccoli. I'm gonna add a couple into the top. And the last thing we're gonna do is draw our face. So you guys draw whatever you want this face to look like. Okay. So now we have all of our produce placed. we're just gonna make a little label that's gonna go across the front of the bag, and then that's all of our sketching, and we're gonna get into the color. So for the label, I'm gonna draw a rainbow arch line that's gonna go across. It's gonna have an M shape on one side, an M shape on the other, and then it's going to finish the rainbow. And then you can write whatever you want it to be. I wrote Art Mart on mine, because why not? Art Mart. But if you want it to say Kitchener Market, or you want it to say Kidspark, or you want to make up your own name for a grocery store, get creative. Have it be whatever you'd like. And then we're gonna just draw, it kind of looks like a banner, so we're just gonna draw the banner peeking out from behind as though it's folded and then coming out again. It's a bit of that like 3D look again. And we've got our label on the front. Now, if you want, you can go in and thicken up a few of the lines. And by thickening some of our lines, it actually is going to make the piece stand out a little bit more. I'm going to thicken the right-hand side. Gives it almost like a graffiti art look. And guys, if you're finding some of it to be challenging, maybe a little bit too hard for your little hands to do, if you're younger, more like 3 or 4, just leave out some of the details. Just focus on a few fruit. You don't have to do it all. And you certainly don't have to do the thickening. This is just a finishing touch if you want to challenge yourself. Just going to thicken the underlines on my bread, and then I'm ready to add color. Okay, so you can put the lid back on your Sharpie and switch for whatever you've chosen to do your color with. All right, guys, let's add some color now. I'm going to go and just go to town with the color here, and I want you guys to use your own creativity and add color how you want it to be. If you want to have a purple grocery bag, add a purple grocery bag. If you want your broccoli to be like orange, go for it. Whatever color you guys want to do, feel free. You don't have to copy my exact colors. Thanks so much for participating in our virtual Art Spark today. I hope you guys enjoy the way that your grocery bag turned out. I think they're so fun. We like to see what you guys create, so feel free with your parents' permission to send through a picture of the piece that you created onto our Twitter or Facebook or Instagram accounts. Also feel free, if you really like this, to check out our YouTube channel for some more fun art that you can do at home with supplies that you have around the house. Again, thanks so much, guys. Stay safe and have fun. Bye for now.